Hello, it's Nick Leatherland here from Pegasus Property. I'm a little bit sweaty at the minute because I've just done a photo shoot for this new property we just finished. So this one is situated in CREWE. CREWE is East Cheshire, which is about 15 minutes from Stoke-on-Trent. So that's 5 minutes. We started expanding into this patch because we felt that our kind of branding model that we do that was working so well in Stoke-on-Trent would probably work quite well in CREWE as well. So landlords over here have been asking us to come over and help them out, so that's what we're doing. So this is one we just finished. I'm going to obviously do the usual walk around thing, but also I want to talk a little bit about the backstory to this property because it's quite an interesting one. So I'll start us off in just one of the first rooms so you can just sort of get a picture for what we're looking at. So it's got 6 bedrooms, they're all en suites. This is what the en suites look like. So quite tight, as you can see, but anyway. Right, so what went on with this property was that the client, who was kind of project managing this from afar, they got a local builder in, and that local builder basically didn't do a very good job of the property. They got about 60% of the way through the project, and they downed tools and left site. And the site must have sat empty for maybe 12 months or so. And whilst it sat empty, of course, it's not making money for the investors. So eventually they got sick of it and they decided to give Pegasus Property a call. So they called us up and said, can you help us out? Can you guys project manage it for us and take the build on as well? So we got our building team in. They quoted the works up. Kind of what kind of came alight quite soon was that the project was massively underquoted. So I think it was quoted at about 60k to do this, which includes a big extension behind me. So this is all from where I'm stood here. So they've knocked this bit of the wall out and they've extended it right the way back there. So that's a big old extension, that is. 6 bedrooms, all en suites. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of work for 60 grand anyway. So yeah, it became pretty apparent that the job was misquoted, and this is something we see a lot actually with people that come to us and say, builders down tools and left site, whatever. It tends to come down to the fact that it's not been quoted properly. Reason being is that most builders don't know how to actually quote a job of this size. If you read the new book that me and John just wrote, the Developer's Refurb Manual, which is £3.99, and you can buy it from our website, we talk about in there at great length about quantity surveyors and the order of things that you should follow really to kind of ensure that you get a good project that runs smoothly. So, we took this project on, we had the QS, the quantity surveyor, he came in, he quoted it up, we determined that there was about another 35k worth of works left. So, the clients agreed, we started immediately, and that's when it all started going a bit wrong really. So, we actually met the builder on site who did the previous works. He had a little bit of a story, he wasn't very well, he couldn't do the work, stuff like that. We suspected that he just misquoted it because he spent all the money that he said it would cost, but he didn't do all the work. He got 60% of the way through, charged him 60 grand, and there was another 35, 40 grand left on the project. So we picked that bit up, and it was, I'll tell you what, it was horrendous. He gave us the handover, he said that building control were involved, it was all fine, everything's been done by the book. So we called up building control and they said, we've never heard of this project. So, they came round and they asked us to do things such as exposing the steel that's behind me there, that's opened the wall up. Turns out that the steel's second hand, it's not sat on any pad stones. So it's just sitting there, it's not been fireboarded and it wasn't done to regs basically. That was the first thing. The second thing, this extension that's behind me was not built on the correct foundations. So the whole extension required underpinning. The extension did not have the correct cavity, so we had to do external cavity panel blocks onto the walls, which is like a rendering. So not have we had to just sort out the steel, put the pad stones in, fireboard it, underpin the extension, put cavity external insulation on, and also redo the roof. That was just the beginning of it. Oh, and they built it over a main drain. So that's another thing. They wanted us to rip the extension down. They said, because when they heard about the builder, they said, we want it all ripping down. And we managed to convince them that, you know, it was just an accident. The clients didn't know this guy was a dodgy builder. They're sorry, you know, kind of thing. And so building control were okay with it in the end. They made us obviously redo a lot of things, but we got there in the end. But the point is that, you know, you never know with some builders. They can come across as really good and sincere, but actually they don't really know what they're doing. So anyway, this is the kitchen. So it's quite a big kitchen. There's a little toilet down here as well. So there's actually 7 bathrooms in this house. So every bedroom's got its own ensuite, you know, and then there's a 7th bathroom as well. Oops. There we go. So yeah, we've done over 30 projects now since we started we started in February, so almost 23 months ago now we started the company. We've done over 30 projects. I think it's a project 31 or 32, I forget which. But I'll go upstairs now so you can have a little look upstairs. Numbers on this, I mean, I'm not sure what the client's got the property for, but I think it was really cheap. It was below 100 grand. And they've spent best part of 100 grand on the renovation just because of the sheer amount of works that needed doing. But yeah, you can see we're going for the old grey feature wall, grey carpet, mustard yellow as a colour. I think it looks pretty high end, pretty boutique. And say every bedroom's got an ensuite. This was another thing they kind of screwed up as well. I'll try and just so you can see. Can you see the size of the step there on that shower? It's really high. So that's another thing they did. That's not really to building regs, but they let us off with that one. Basically, you pretty much need a ladder to get into your shower. So we won't be able to rent this to any short people. This is a tiny little bedroom. Still meets the minimum requirements, but it is quite small, you know. So again, it's got an ensuite, little ensuite in there. 2 rooms left. Hope you like my t-shirt. T-Rex. You can read it for yourself. I get called a T-Rex because I've got short arms apparently. So yeah, short arms. Ensuite. It's got quite a nice garden as well. I mean, it needs obviously sorting, but if you can kind of see out there, goes right the way back. So needs a bit of gravel on it. Alright, we're 8 minutes in now. I'm waffling on a bit, so I'm going to quickly get to the last bedroom and finish off the video. That's the last bedroom there. Furniture was from furniture was from Fusion Furniture. That's the one, Fusion Furniture. We did all the dressings. These guys, I think Fusion supplied some of the artwork as well, and some of the other bits and bobs. We got all the rest of the dressings in, the lamps, etc. This is something that we do. You can buy these from Dunelm, a couple quid. This is Red Berry Fusion. It really helps on viewings. Some of the smells are really good. Also, you can actually try and sort of combine smells with colours. So if you use a lot of lemon punch smells with the yellow, that kind of goes down well. You can get orangey smells for orange, blueberry for blue. You know, you get the drill. Little things like that are nice little touches. Here's a top tip for you. So do due diligence on your builders. Make sure that they do their numbers properly, because obviously sometimes they get it wrong, and then you're the one that's got to pay the bill. And try and colour match to smells. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure you download our book, the Developer's Refurb Manual. It's only £3.99. Me and John put all of our knowledge into that book, basically on how to systemize and how to build up this, you know, property empire that's done £8 million GDP worth of projects in 22 months. So yeah, thank you, cheers.